once upon a time in the city of Accra, knew how Aboki's roasted guinea fowl stayed so fat, soft, and juicy that people kept coming back every day. Then suddenly, strange things began to happen. His famous stall stayed cold, and a heavy sour smell drifted from his compound. When the city finally gathered courage to check on him, what they found inside froze every heart with fear. In Accra City, everybody knew Aboki, the big man who sold roasted guinea fowl by the market square. From morning till late evening, smoke from his big iron grill filled the air. The smell of spice and firewood traveled far. People from nearby town came with baskets just to taste his guinea fowl. Come and buy soft roasted guinea fowl, tender and sweet. Price for everybody, Aboki shouted, his heavy voice carrying through the busy market. His guinea fowl was always soft and juicy. No matter how many people came, he never ran out. It was a mystery. Even when guinea fowl became costly in other places, Aboki's price stayed the same. Some people joked that maybe he planted money in the ground. Others lowered their voices and said, "This one is not ordinary. Maybe he is using juju." But the truth is that hunger and taste are stronger than rumors. Men who hardly spent money would still stop and buy. Women who promised to cook at home changed their minds when the smell of Aboki's guinea fowl entered their nose. Aboki was a tall and muscular man. His apron always neatly tied well around his waist. When he laughed, his chest shook like a drum. People thought he had everything: money, customers, and luck. But hidden under that big cloth was a secret that even his closest neighbors did not know. Not far from his stall, other guinea fowl sellers began to talk. One woman named Mama Pat, who also sold roasted guinea fowl, felt jealousy growing in her heart. Her own sales had dropped since Aboki came. How can one man sell so cheap and still grow rich? She asked aloud. One evening she told a few neighbors, "I will find out the truth. Something is hiding in that man's life." People's curiosity deepened when Aboki suddenly bought the expensive car he now drives in. He announced it proudly at the market, thanking God and smiling as he spoke of his success. For many, the question became stronger. How did roasted guinea fowl alone bring such money so quickly? Then something strange began to happen. At first, he only felt a small pain in his right leg. He tied a cloth around it and kept roasting, but the pain grew stronger. Sometimes he would stop turning the meat and press his leg hard, thinking no one noticed. Sometimes flies gathered quickly when he shifted the cloth. Still, he went on with a wide smile. Then one evening, while the line of customers grew long, Aboki tried to stand to fetch more guinea fowl. His leg refused to carry him. He sat back heavily, sweat running down his face. The fire in the grill was not as hot as the fire in his leg. "Aboki, are you well?" a customer asked when he saw the sweat pouring down Aboki's face. "I am fine," Aboki said quickly, forcing a smile. "It is the fire that makes me sweat." The man nodded and kept eating. No one wanted to question the hand that seasoned such delicious food. As the day's trade ended, Aboki dragged his heavy body home. Inside his house, his right leg throbbed as if a drum was beating inside the flesh. Market day returned. As the smoke rose and the first customers arrived, Aboki forced himself to stand. He set the coals, placed the guinea fowls, and began to sing. But halfway through turning a row of birds, a sharp, deep pain shot through his leg. His hand trembled. He almost dropped the iron rod. He clenched his teeth, pretending nothing had happened. Yet every step felt heavier. Every turn of the guinea fowl sent another stab of pain through his body. By late afternoon, his voice was no longer loud. The smile on his face had grown thin. The customers noticed but said nothing. They were too busy eating. When the sun dipped and the market began to quiet, Aboki packed the little leftover of the guinea fowl and limped home. Night settled quietly over Accra City, but Aboki's compound stayed awake with a different life. He sat on a low wooden stool, slowly loosening the heavy cloth from his swollen right leg. The cloth peeled away with a damp sound, revealing the saw that had become his secret treasure and curse. When he touched the edges, they felt hot and hard, as if the flesh was cooking from inside. As he lay in the dark, he remembered the night years ago when everything changed. He remembered Kumasi, the market noise, the rich cars, and Chief David. It all returned to him like a film inside his head. Long before Accra City knew his name, Aboki was a thin young man in Kumasi with eyes that never stopped measuring other people's wealth. He worked at a busy spare parts shop in Ashtown Market. From morning until night, he carried heavy engine parts, cleaned oil from the floor, and fetched bolts for customers. But while his hands worked, his mind burned. Every day he watched rich men arrive in big cars. They wore expensive dresses and shoes that looks like mirror. Their perfumes filled the shop before they even spoke. They laughed loud as if money itself was their friend. Aboki would pause, cloth in hand, and whisper under his breath, "Why must I live like this? Why did my father leave me nothing? Why did my mother have no land to give? How long will I suffer while others swim in riches?" This bitterness grew like a hidden seed. No matter how much his boss praised him or raised his pay a little, it was never enough. He counted other men's cars instead of counting his blessings. Among all the wealthy customers, one man held his attention more than anyone else, Chief David, a powerful car dealer known across the city. Chief's convoy always arrived like a festival. His gold chain flashed in the sun. His laughter carried like music. People greeted him with respect, calling him Cashman. Aboki watched him with hungry eyes. For many months he studied Chief David's visits. He noticed how the man's pockets never seemed empty, how he spoke like one who owned the ground he walked on. In Aboki's heart, a voice whispered, "This is the kind of life I must have. I cannot remain a servant forever." One hot afternoon, while the market buzzed and generators roared, Aboki's desire boiled over. As Chief David finished his purchase and turned to leave, Aboki wiped his oily hands on a rag and stepped forward. "Chief," he said, trying to keep his voice steady, "please show me the way. I don't want to die poor." Chief stopped and looked at him closely. It was not the first time someone had begged for help, but something about Aboki's eyes held his interest. There was boldness, almost desperation. For a long moment, the market noise faded. Then Chief smiled slowly. "You are a brave one," he said. "Many talk but few dare to ask. If your heart is strong, come and see me tonight. We shall talk like men." Aboki felt his chest beat fast. He bowed slightly. "Thank you, Chief. I will come." As evening approached and the market lights blinked on, Aboki's mind raced. He barely noticed the smell of petrol or the voices bargaining around him. He had no idea where Chief would take him or what "show me the way" truly meant. But his heart was full of one thought. This is my chance. I must become rich, no matter the cost. Few days later, at the back of the market, Aboki waited alone beneath a flickering street light, the shirt on his back freshly washed for this secret meeting. When the sound of a car horn cut through the quiet, his heart leapt. A black Jeep rolled to a stop beside him. The back door opened and Chief David sat inside, face half lit, a faint smile in his eyes. "Get in," Chief said. Aboki slid in quickly. For a long time they drove in silence. Aboki gripped his knees, questions crowding his mind, but too afraid to speak. At last, the jeep stopped before a small mud house. Chief David stepped out and motioned Aboki to follow. In the middle of the room sat a thin man with a long white beard and eyes that shone like wet charcoal. "Welcome," Malam said in a low, steady voice that seemed to fill the room. "You come to find the road to wealth." Aboki swallowed hard. "Yes, Malam. I am ready." Without a word, Chief David untied his flowing jalabiya and slowly rolled up his right trouser leg. Aboki's eyes widened. On the man's calf was a wound the size of a man's fist, deep, dark, and alive. White worms crawled in and out as if the flesh itself were a nest. Aboki stepped back in shock. But Chief David only smiled. "This is my bank," he said calmly. "The more these worms grow, the more money flows to me. But they must be fed to the living. When people eat food that carries them, wealth follows me like a shadow." Malam's eyes stayed fixed on Aboki. "If you want riches that never dry, you must accept a wound like this. Every night you will gather the creatures it breeds. You will feed them to food for others to eat." Aboki's heart hammered, but greed drowned every warning. "Accept," he said quickly. "Do it for me tonight." Malam nodded once. He took an object from a clay pot and began to chant words Aboki had never heard before. The room filled with the smell of strange smoke. Then with one swift motion, the object cut deep into Aboki's right leg. He gasped as hot pain shot upward, followed by a crawling sensation as if something alive had entered the flesh. Chief David watched silently, a faint smile on his face. When the chanting stopped, Malam spoke again. "From tonight you will carry your own source of wealth. Gather what the wound gives you. Feed it to living food. Do not fail or the blessing will turn to hunger and eat you first." Aboki sat trembling, sweat running down his back. Chief David placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. "Leave Kumasi. Find a quiet place where no one knows you. Begin a business where people must eat every day. If you obey the instruction, you will never lack." Before dawn, Aboki left Kumasi. Chief David's words sat heavy in his mind. He traveled until he reached Accra City, a lively market town where strangers could start fresh without questions. There he rented a small house with a wide backyard and soon built a large Guinea Fowl pen of bamboo and wire right inside his compound. People noticed the steady work of the newcomer. Aboki bought chicks and built wooden feeding troughs. Every morning he swept the pen and fetched clean water. The guinea fowls grew fast and healthy, and neighbors praised his effort. No one imagined the true secret of their growth. At night, when the city slept, Aboki's real business began. Behind his locked door, he untied the thick cloth on his right leg. The sour inside was deep and wet. Pain pulsed through it like a second heartbeat, but he bore it in silence with calm hands. He held a clean calabash beneath the wound and waited. The harvest, whatever it was, gathered slowly, hidden from the world. Malam's voice from that dark hut never left his ears every night. "Gather what the wound gives. Feed it to living food. Do not fail and your riches will not dry." When the calabash was ready, he poured the strange contents into their feed and watched until they settled again. Only then would he rewrap the wound and stretch on his raffia mat, whispering his nightly comfort. "Small pain for big money. Tomorrow the queue will be long." In the mornings, the yard was a cheerful sight. The guinea fowls were fat and lively, pecking noisily at grain. Neighbors who passed by greeted him warmly. "Aboki, your birds grow as if they eat gold," one man joked. Aboki laughed and said, "Good care makes strong guinea fowls." When the birds reached the perfect size, he slaughtered and roasted them on his wide iron grill at the market. Soon word spread far beyond over. Travelers planned their journey so they could eat Aboki's soft, juicy Guinea fowl. People who once swore never to buy cooked meat began to queue at his stall. Some said they dreamt of the taste and woke craving it. Money filled his bag faster than he could count. Seasons passed. The Guinea fowl business flourished like a river in rainy season. Yet every night the secret work continued. The wound throbbed harder. The smell grew sharper. Sometimes when he uncovered it, he saw the edges darkening, almost black. Still he obeyed Malam's instruction. The money was too sweet, the customers too many, and his heart too deep in greed to stop. When Hamartan winds came dry and cold, Aboki noticed something new. The pain now stretched beyond the saw, climbing up his calf and tugging at his thigh. He limped more each day. But with every market morning came more customers and more money, and he forced himself to stand before the fire. The city only saw success. Aboki is blessed, they said. His Guinea fowl will never finish. But inside his compound, behind locked doors, the bargain he made with Barber was tightening its hold. The saw that had fed his wealth was quietly preparing to collect its final debt. One day, the Hamartan morning was cold and dusty, yet Aboki lay sweating on his bed. The pain in his right leg had become a living fire. It no longer waited for night. It burned through every hour. Each time he tried to rise, a sharp stab shot up his thigh and across his waist. Even the short walk from his room to the Guinea fowl pen in the backyard felt impossible. After 4 days, his grill at the market had stayed cold. Neighbors came to the gate and called his name. Aboki, are you there? Do you need medicine? But he only answered weakly, I am fine. I need rest. The smell that floated from his compound told another story. It was thick and sour, stronger than smoke or pepper, and it clung to the evening breeze until people covered their noses. Inside, Aboki's world shrank to the 4 mud walls of his room. He could hear the guinea fowls clucking restlessly in the yard, waiting for their midnight feeding, but he could no longer reach them. The wound pulsed like a drum under his cloth. Each beat a command his body could not obey when he dared to loosen the cloth for relief. A heavy stench rushed out, sharp enough to sting his eyes. The saw had spread upward, its edges black and hard like burnt wood. The guinea fowls went hungry. The market went without his famous guinea fowl, and the pain only deepened. One stormy night, clouds rolled across the moon, and thunder groaned like an old drum. Aboki lay awake, eyes fixed on the dark ceiling. Suddenly, a tearing pain ripped through his leg and shot across his body. He cried out, but the wind outside swallowed the sound. The wound burst open with a wet crack, and something began to move fast and many. In the dim lantern light, he saw white shapes pushing through the wound. First a few, then hundreds, then so many that the cloth around his leg lifted and felt like a breathing thing. They spilled onto the mat with a sound like dry leaves and spread across the floor in waves. Aboki tried to rise, but his body no longer obeyed. He felt the movement inside him under the skin of his belly, along his arms, even behind his eyes. The pain turned to a deep cold numbness as thousands of worms crawled out covering his legs, his chest, his face. He opened his mouth to scream, and more poured out thick, white, and endless. The room filled with their wet rustle, drowning every other sound. The guinea fowls in the backyard fell silent as if listening. By dawn, Accra City woke to an eerie quiet. When neighbors finally pushed open Aboki's door, they stepped back in horror. The air smelled of decay and smoke long gone cold. No one touched the grill again. The guinea fowl yard was left to weeds and silence. Children were warned not to go near the compound. And when elders told the story by firelight, they ended with the same heavy words. Greed does not fill a man, it finishes him. What you feed for wealth will one day feed on you. Aboki, once the pride of the market, became only a caution in city memory. Moral of the story: greed is a fire that never satisfies. Aboki thought he had found a simple way to riches, but every coin he earned carried a hidden cost. He fed his guinea fowls from a secret wound to make others crave his food. Yet the same wound finally consumed him. Whatever evil you feed for profit will one day feed on you. Wealth gained through hidden darkness is never a blessing. It is a debt waiting to be collected. The elders of Accra City now say greed may give a man a full pocket for a time, but in the end it empties his life. Thank you for watching. If this story kept your heart racing, don't let the fire stop here. Subscribe to African Folktales by Ikusa for Mothers for more chilling city mysteries and life-changing lessons. Tap the bell so every new folktale reaches you first. Tell us in the comments what you think about the story. Share this story with friends and family so they too can remember.